In this video, I'll be sharing the reasons why I left Ecuador and discussing the factors that led to my decision and some of the lessons that I learned. In general, I feel the overall cost of living was higher than I had expected. I will say that the cost in Cuenca is more in line with what I was looking for, but other areas that I would be interested in living, particularly on the coast, are too pricey for my taste. I prefer to live in mid-sized cities and prioritize living in an upper-class area. I also enjoy eating out every meal, which costs more than I was comfortable paying on a regular basis. In order to live cheap, I had to compromise quite a bit on my diet and was pretty limited on my options for living accommodations. Cuenca weather was too cold and rainy for my taste. I come from a warmer climate, so I just never felt comfortable when it was cold, especially in the evenings. I will say that I really enjoyed the temperature in Manta, but the wind did get old after a while. Even with the wind, Manta has some of the best weather that I've experienced outside of the United States so far. There are very few English speakers in the country, which is to be expected. English is just not widely used. Learning Spanish is imperative here, and it is difficult to navigate without it. I'm in a somewhat unique situation as I can easily be mistaken for a local until I try to speak. This allowed me to experience some interesting interactions that some others may not experience. I'll say that several people that I encountered were impatient and were not willing to collaborate to build understanding. Ecuador is still very much a developing country. Technology is limited and things don't function as easily as they could. For example, I was constantly needing to get assistance to log in online to my Ecuadorian bank account as their website was very dated and had a lot of issues. The bank support suggested that I try other methods of accessing my information as they also agreed that the online system was poor. Being behind the times of technology also means that tech items in Ecuador are typically a generation or more behind and are priced at a premium. I'm a night owl. I prefer to stay up late at night rather than be up early in the morning. Unfortunately, it is generally not best to be out late at night and have seen firsthand how the neighborhood can change significantly once the sun goes down. Even if it were safe to be out, very little was open anyway, making it difficult to eat later at night, which I have a tendency to do. During the day, things to do were limited as well, especially in Manta. There were several times where it was difficult to be comfortable. One night while dining out, a shirtless man came to my table and asked for my drink. After refusing multiple times, he stood at the end of the table and stared at me for quite some time before finally leaving. Being approached and asked for money while you were eating is very common. In Cuenca, there were 2 occasions where I was being followed and had to do some creative maneuvering in order to avoid finding out what they wanted. One day while walking down a major street in Cuenca, I saw a guy checking doors and gate locks for an easy opportunity, right in the middle of the afternoon. Also, the business next to the condo I was staying in was robbed one night. In Manta, it felt much safer walking around, but there are still violent crimes occurring in the city, even in the upper class areas. There have been several notable execution-style murders in nice parts of the city. I urge anyone intending to move abroad to access the online news that is local to the area you intend to stay or visit and use Google Translate so that you can read about what is happening so that you may formulate your own opinion on the issue.